How much time we got? Man, I look at the time I've been here in three triads. The first, from 71 to 85, I was a teacher, coach, everything. Then up until the year 2000, I was head. And then from 2000 onward, I've been back here teaching part-time. So the last segment is the most enjoyable for me, so I could focus on teaching, which meant I could focus on students. And that has become what I was most interested in. It was not what I spent 6 years in a doctoral program at Berkeley. I was a scholar. I was looking for a job as a scholar. Gradually, it did not happen right away. Gradually, I stopped being so interested in 18th century American literature, and I started caring only about my students. I think probably the thing that helps me most is a sense of humor. I try to inject humor into the classroom as much as possible. I think because I'm a sophomoric person myself, and so I seem to have fit in quite nicely into the age group. But to balance that with a degree of seriousness which they aren't entirely used to. People tell me all the time, when they come in September and see Baker on their schedules, everybody tries to get out of the class. By and large, by Thanksgiving, we're fine. Generally speaking, I can win them over with a combination of humor and affection. I've reduced it down to a fairly simple formula. I work them very hard, and I love them, and I make sure they know I love them. So I think a lot about what's the meaning in my life, and how has it formed and where has it come from? Meaning for me clearly resides largely in the relationships that I have with students. The image I have is of a potter. My classes are like somebody on the wheel shaping something, and the kids provide the clay, and then I try to shape it into something that's meaningful. I had a line in a speech I gave a few years ago. It had to do with the last class at Nobles for them. It happened to be an English class. And I had taken them out to some grassy knolls by the castle. And when it was over, they ran off to do what they do after the last class, jump up and down. I remained behind. And I have often thought afterwards that if I had been less self-conscious, I would have fallen on my knees and wept for the loss of them. If I'm teaching a senior elective, then I come to love those kids, and I don't want them to go. I don't want summer vacation to come. That's really saying something. I don't want summer vacation to come because that's the last I'm going to see of them. And I think that sense of affection goes a long way towards creating a bond between me and any students. David Brooks wrote a column, Resume Virtues and Eulogy Virtues. And I always bring this up in class. I said, you will work hard to establish resume virtues, the accomplishments that you have achieved in your lifetime. But the important things are the eulogy virtues, what someone will stand up at your funeral and say what kind of a person you were, what kind of values were important to you. Most kids are interested in resume virtues, but gradually they may remember that and think about the eulogy virtues that are more important.